Now, here's your host, DJ Host with the Most.
If only I had spidey senses, so I can tell when something's wrong. Oh, and I'm in search to protect this heart from breaking into pieces. Where's my hammer? Where's the shield? Oh, the strength to carry the weight of the world. Fly high into the sky. I'll catch you if you fall. I'll catch you if you fall. Fly high into the sky. I'll catch you if you fall. I'll catch you if you fall.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Cold Outside Late Night Edition. I'm talking after 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time of Snap Decisions. I, of course, am your late night DJ tonight. The host with the most, your Snap DJ, very late, coming to you with this week's edition of Snap Decisions. Welcome all, and appreciate you hanging in there for the pod this week. Of course, it's a weekly occurrence for me, but a lot of things going on. I had work. I had other things happening this week that I had to attend to. So I am putting this out very, very late on a Wednesday night. I was thinking about maybe even pushing it off to tomorrow, but I've got my wrestling podcast tomorrow, so cannot do that. And then I got plans for the rest of the weekend too. I'm going to that concert I talked to you guys about on the episode of the pod, which is the Jeff Tate from ex-lead singer of Queensryche. I'm going to see him on Saturday, which should be a lot of fun. And I get to see him do the entire album of Operation Mindcrime, which I'm very, very excited about. Have never gotten to hear any of that live. And it's literally I told you guys, it's a top 5 album for me. So I get to go to that on Saturday. So that'll be fun. And I've got guests coming up on the show. I've got Burb, who will be coming up and joining me. I've got Lauren Whatevs, who will be coming up. I think she said on the show, on their show, called Snap On This, of course. And you better be listening to it or watching because it's very good. Along with Ben Roller and It's Just Re. But I believe she will be on for the 5th time on my show, so that'll be cool. And then, of course, Kier Nimbus is coming up as well. So lots of cool guests coming up on the YouTube channel. So make sure you head on over there, Snap Decisions, check out my cool new graphics. Go over there, subscribe, check out some of the videos that I've had. I've got quite a list of creators, content creators who I had on the program, including Regis Kilbin, including Nina is Noob. Just so many people have joined me on there. Lauren Whatevs as well. Just a lot of people that have joined me on the pod throughout the last couple of years. Glazer's been on many times from Snap Judgments. But yeah, it's just been a plethora of people that I've gotten a chance to speak to over there. And my latest has been Nerf Herder, who's been on the program before. And I plan to have a lot more people on that show where we will talk, of course, Marvel Snap. But in some cases, we'll talk some different things. Just chit-chat about, could be pop culture. Could be some things that are nostalgic a little bit. Bring a little nostalgia to the channel. Talk about, and this is where, I get, of course, ideas from when I was a DJ, but I also get ideas from listening to others. And, talking about Snap On This, many times, they're talking about toys that they had when in their past. They're talking about video games they play, things like that. And I want to, of course, I'm old, so I'm going to talk about nostalgia. And I'm going to bring that into the pod as well. But yeah, it's just so much fun to chat. I enjoy doing this show and I enjoy doing the pod, but it's always fun to have other people on the show and chat with someone else. So make sure you do that. And again, thank you all for wherever you may be listening to the show, whether it's on Spotify, whether it's on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you may listen to the audio portion. I love you guys, and thank you so much for doing so. It warms the cockles. Well, I never understood that. What the heck is a cockle? I don't even know what that is, but it warms them to know that there are people out there that listen to the show faithfully every single week. I'm very honored that you do that and spend an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, listening to the show. So, all right. So on the agenda today, on the DJ Spin, we're going to be doing a countdown. We're going to be doing my top cards of the zombie season. So we're going to look at all the zombie cards in detail, and I'm going to rank them. So we're going to do that on the spin. We'll talk a little bit about bots in the game as well. I bring up the bots before, but it seems to become a sticking point where even some of the bigger creators now are starting to chat about them. Namely like Alex Kocha. I've heard him mentioning them along with, he had Nina on his show. And they were both kind of talking about them. Nina's been bringing them up and stuff like that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about them. And I'd like to hear from you guys on the subject too, whether or not you would want them to kind of scale back on the bots a little bit. Now, I know that, I know that they're probably so prevalent because, there's just not that many players playing the game as there were a couple of years ago. But, to scale back on the I guess what most people call the cheater bots or the, those a little bit. So we'll discuss that in the spin as well. And then, of course, we have the listener part of the show, which I had a couple of questions out that I put out to all of you guys. I stuck them out there on Twitter, stuck them out on Blue Sky. And I had some cool responses. That'll, of course, be the request line segment. And then we'll head on over to Snap Talk, where I will talk all about my week in Snap, where I am on the ladder, which is unfortunately didn't get very far. In fact, I fell off a little bit from where I was. I had a very, very bad streak of playing. I was kind of glad to hear, I think it was Alex Kocha on his video that he was doing for the new card, was saying he had a horrible run of luck. Well, I went through that too the other night when I was playing. And I know people have told me never play late at night, but that's when I tend to get my time. And I went from 95 on ladder all the way back down to 90. Just could not pick up a win no matter what I was playing or who I was playing, what kind of decks I was playing. I just could not buy a win. So I will talk about that. I'll talk, of course, about the decks I've played, talk about the variants that I've gotten over the course of the week. Then we will head over to Comics Corner. And that noise you hear in the background is my dog soundly sleeping. She's like, it's late and I'm sleeping and I'm going to snore and I just don't care because it's my bedtime. So if you hear that sound effect in the background, that is Marley snoring away. I also have my heater kind of going. Did you believe it? Like yesterday here, it was in the 70s, 75, 76, a little humid, a little hot. Today we're down in the 40s. So, it's, you could tell the seasons are a-changing. And, I guess it is October. It's October already. That's insane. Insane to me. That this year has just gone so fast. And before you know it, man, it'll be the holidays. It'll be Thanksgiving. It'll be Christmas time, and it has just sailed by. So yeah. But then, of course, after Snap Talk, we'll get into Comics Corner, where we will talk about Jocasta. She will shortly be in a Disney Plus series, of course. The series that's coming up with Vision Quest, I believe it's called. And Jocasta is in that series coming up, along with Ultron. James Spader's Ultron has a return in that too. So if you wanted to see a TV show about androids, that would be the one to possibly get involved with. And then after that, we will head on over and do the MCU Minute. We'll talk about all the goings-on in the MCU. And then we will, of course, end up, well, I forgot about talking, of course, about comics as well, which we will discuss some comics that I've read, the books that are out this week, my picks for the week, and we'll talk about Jocasta in comics. And then we will head on to the Dazzlers Lyric Challenge for the week. Now, several people got my song this week. And, I'm going to just award you all no prizes because who cares, right? Because I can. So congrats to all of you who got it, whenever you did get it. But it was indeed Eddie Money, Take Me Home Tonight, along with the famously talented Ronnie Spector, who sang the Be My Little Baby part of that song. One of my all-time favorite songs, gives me a lot of joy, and I love it. One of my favorite MTV music videos too, that Eddie has done. He's done a lot of cool videos, man. He did a video for I Think I'm in Love where he dressed up as a vampire in it, and just so many cool. He also did a song. Oh man, Club Michelle. If you never heard that one and you're an Eddie Money fan, very good song of his that was out in I think in either the late 70s or early 80s. But Eddie had so many hits. Baby Hold On, 2 Tickets to Paradise. Just so many hit songs. Walk on Water. Just a great singer and just gone much too soon. I got to see him once when he was on tour, and he was actually on tour with his kids. His kids would come on stage and help him sing. In fact, I think his daughter came up and did the Ronnie Spector part for Take Me Home Tonight, which was really cool. But Eddie's story is a bit of a tragic one, and again, a shame he left us much too early. I know he was in the process of making I think a new album before he passed away as well. So just a shame that he's gone. So we will get to today's lyric challenge, and then we'll wrap her up. So, all right, let's get to the DJ spin, shall we? And we are going to go over all of the zombie cards. We've got the zombie season coming up next week for October, and we're going to go over the cards first, and then we will rank them for the season. So, all right, we're going to start off with the first 2 cards of the month, which are going to be the Zombie Scarlet Witch. By the way, did you watch Marvel Zombies? It was 4 episodes. I thought it was pretty good, although I wasn't as into it as I was when they did the What If special. The What If special one I thought was really a lot of fun, really cool. It was good. It was good, but it didn't quite catch me like that one, like the What If one did. And I don't know. I don't know whether it was because they had changed the members of the team in this, and but I mean, I understand why they did it. And all these animation things, they kind of tend to have the actors that have been doing some of the newer films and stuff like that in it. Like Shang-Chi was in this one and stuff. And I can understand why they do that, because they probably have them like read the parts for this when they're filming movies and stuff. It would make sense, just get them on their days off to just read some lines and things like that. It probably makes it easier to do. But yeah, it was okay. It was okay. It was pretty good. But there's only, I don't know. There's only so much of a story that you can do, I think, with Marvel Zombies. Like you could do maybe like a 2-hour film, right, of Marvel Zombies and kind of say everything that you want to say, or maybe even an 1.5-hour film, right? Even when you have the most famous George Romero zombie movies, Night of the Living Dead, all that kind of stuff. they're kind of better off when they're like hour and a half movies. Once they get a little bit too long in the tooth, they kind of wear out their welcome a little bit, and so even for a horror fan like me. So yeah, it's worth a check. It's worth checking out. It's worth checking out. But to me, it just wasn't as, I don't know. It wasn't as fresh, maybe I'll call it, as the first as the What If came out with it. So, all right, but we have Zombie Scarlet Witch. She is a 3/2, and her card text says the following. If I can get this to work. After you play a card here, Horde +2. Now again, I have the cards in front of me, but I don't exactly have a description of what that horde is yet. I don't think. Let me see. Let me see if I have the actual horde. Do I have the horde card here? I have the hunger, which is on reveal horde +3. No, see, that's going to be the weird thing, because I don't really know what that horde mechanic is. So, Zombie Scarlet Witch, after you play a card here, horde +2. So she is a 3/2. Let me take a look. Let me take a quick look here. And see if they explained what Marvel Snap Horde indeed is. Take a look at this. And see if this has been explained yet. I'm sure they're going to be coming out with the developers video in probably tomorrow. What's today? Today's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Probably over the weekend is when they usually come out. So it'll probably explain what this is, but let me see if anyone did. Okay. Well, this is the Horde mechanic in Marvel Snap involves playing cards with the Horde keyword to create or empower a zombie Horde token. Okay. Which gains power based on the played card's Horde's values. The first time a Horde card is played, the token is created, and subsequent Horde cards played by either player at any location add their indicated power to the existing Horde. This mechanic forms the core of zombie-themed decks, with other zombie cards providing ways to grow the Horde's power or capitalize on its strength. Okay, all right, well that kind of clears it up. Creation. When a card with the Horde effect is played for the first time, a zombie Horde token is created. The initial Horde token has power equal to the Horde value on the card that created it. When any player plays another card with a Horde effect, its indicated power is added to the total power of the existing Horde. Other cards in the zombie theme, such as Zombie Scarlet Witch, can increase the Horde's power based on the cards played at her location, furthering integrating the mechanic into gameplay. So, okay. Now, Magic the Gathering does have a Horde mechanic, which, by the way, I had all the intent to do a pack opening of my Magic the Gathering Spider-Man stuff. I was going to do that in a video over the course of the weekend. Well, that got just shot down because I just had too much stuff happening and going on. So but I will tell you, I got some good cards. I did not strike it rich, and did not find the now, what is it, $30,000 or $40,000 Soulstone card. It's the foil rare, of course. That's the most costly. But even the other, like even the most uncommon of the Soulstone card is going for like $500 to $700. But I did not strike it rich. I did not get that. But I did get some cool cards. I got Anti-Venom. I got Gwen Stacy. I got Mary Jane. I of course got a comic book card. Those comic book cards. Now there's some that have comic book actual art, and I had thought for sure I'd get a few of those. But here they're like super rare as well. But I did get the one where the Hobgoblin, the one with the Hobgoblin cover of where he's ripping Spider-Man in half on the cover, which was one of the very, very cool art cover that they made. And but I did get that one. So I got some pretty good cards. But you know, not the expensive Soul Stone I did not get. So, all right. So anyway, let's get back to it. So that's the Horde mechanic, and so Zombie Scarlet Witch. Of course, after you play a card here, Horde +2. So that's going to make the that's gonna give you copies or extras of the Horde token. So, all right, and then we've got Head Pull. Oh, the Destroy players get another toy in the chest. Ay. Now with Dormammu getting the buff, there is so much Destroy again. Good Lord, especially in Conquest. I was starting to try to go through Infinity Conquest, and between the amount of Destroy and the amount of negative that are in there, it's just gross. It's just gross. But Head Pull is going to go in Destroy decks, no doubt. He's a 1/1. When this is destroyed, return it to your hand and give all cards in your hand +1 power. Oh my God. Yeah, this is going to be a Destroy player's favorite card. They're gonna throw it right in the Destroy deck. And the question is does it replace the other Deadpool? Which maybe it would. Because Deadpool is great if you get him early in the game, but if you don't, he's kind of a waste. This card is just going to help all of your cards. So yeah, I would be shocked if this one didn't help out Destroy. They're already using Moira X in those decks now. So, and of course, this also helps the Dormammu list too, because when you destroy it, you're going to just return it to your hand, so you can just keep doing that, and you can keep doing it over and over technically, and keep playing it down for those rituals for Dormammu. So this is going to be a good card for that too. Next up, we have Colonel. He's been promoted. Colonel America. He's a 3/3. Ongoing, of course. Your other cards have +1 power for each turn you've discarded a card. So this is an ongoing for discard, which is kind of weird. We haven't really seen any cards like that before, but that's what it is. It's ongoing card for a discard list. And, your cards that are there in that lane are going to get bonus like the other Captain America does. But you must discard to do it. So kind of cool. He's a 3/3, so a little bit of a, not great stats, I guess. But another toy for discards chest. So we'll see. Zombie Mr. Fantastic. He's a 2/2. On reveal, Horde +2. So he's one of those ones that can add to that Horde, like Scarlet Witch. And then he also has an activate. Give 4 of your created cards +1 power. So it's for created cards. So I don't know. This could go pretty good into like Thanos lists, or maybe an Arishem deck. Something along those lines. But for the created cards. So kind of interesting. Then we've got Zombie Captain Marvel. She's a 4/4. Activate, destroy your other cards here to get +3 power for each. Move to a location you're losing. So she's going to do the same thing that the regular Captain Marvel does, but when you activate it, you're going to destroy your other cards in her lane to get +3 power for each. So if she could get pretty big, she could really get pretty big, and then of course move to win you a lane. So pretty good. Then we have this one. This is extremely confusing to me. Extremely confusing to me. The Zombie Galacti. Now, they're Galactuses, I think. The card is a 7/4. So you, first of all, you're not going to be able to play it unless you're playing like a Wiccan or something along those lines to get that out at 7. The start of the game, choose 6 other cards in your deck. On reveal, transform those cards into copies of this. Now, why would you want... I can't figure this out. Someone much more intelligent than me. Why would you want to do this? Why would you want to transform 6 of your other cards in your deck into this card when it's a 7/4? I don't understand why you'd want to do this. Start of game, choose 6 other cards in your deck. So that's half your deck. On reveal, transform those cards into copies of this. I don't know why you'd want to do this. I mean, explain this to me. I just don't understand why you'd want to do this. I'm going to consult the Mr. Google here, and I'm going to find out what is the purpose of this card. I don't get it. So let's type in. Let's type in zombie galacti. Let's type this in. Got to type in Marvel Snap because it's showing the ones from the show. So Zombie Galacti Marvel Snap. Forgive me, I'm typing with my left hand, which isn't always easy. Costs 7 energy and has 4 power. It has the effect, start of game, it transforms those cards into copies of this. It has variants that are part of... I just don't... Why would you play this? Let's see what some people are saying here. This is from Reddit. Actually, I'm beginning to see a pattern in the cards I pick up. Nightmare Dormammu, Fallen One, and now this guy. I just like the fun stuff. I just don't understand why would you want this? Why would... I don't know. Someone's going to have to clarify this for me. I don't understand. Yeah, see, someone is asking here, what is the point of this card? Now, this person answers, if you can symbiote Spider-Man onto the zombie, you could potentially turn 6 cards in your original deck into 11 power zombies. So if everything aligned and you had those 6 cards in play, that's 6 more 11 power zombies hanging out with that first 11 power zombie. Hand buff cards are cards that can buff before the on reveal Galactico and pull forward symbiote Spider-Man man. Also play some method to actually play the card Luna Snow Jubilee Magic. Then you can have a lot of big guys on the final turn. Okay. So you're obviously going to have to play Ramp. You have to play Wiccan, or you're going to have to play Luna or something like that just to get it in play. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's still, like, to me, it's weird. It's, like, very, very weird deck. I don't know. Like, this is just weird to me. But, I don't know. I don't even think I'm going to judge this one. Or try to judge it, because this is just, I don't know, this is just a weird one to me. I like the fact that it's, Galacti, but I don't know. This is just a weird card. It's going to be very hard to rate this to me. So we'll move on. We've got Zombie Power Man. Zombie Power Man's a 2/4. End of turn, if you're winning here, discard the leftmost card from your hand. So again, this is a second card now that can be played with discard. We had one earlier, and now we're going to have a second one that can be played with discard. That's going to discard the leftmost card. So this could kind of go in line with these Agatha decks. Now, the Agatha Hella decks that are out there, or the Agatha Black Knight decks that are out there. If you don't get Redshift, now you can just kind of have this guy that could kind of do a similar thing. So I guess that's where he could go. Then we have Zombie Sentry. Zombie Sentry is a 3/4 on reveal horde +1 for each of your cards at the right location. So he's just going to really add to that horde. If you've got a lot of cards played in the right location, you're just going to get a lot of power to the horde with him. Then we have Zombie Giant Man, 5/3 on reveal horde +1. Then this gains power equal to your zombie horde. So he's going to benefit from how big your zombie horde is, and he'll be that big of a creature. You know, it could be a 5'10", a 5'12", whatever, in that 5 range. And then we have the Hunger. Now this is a what are they called? Spell. I like to call them an instant from Magic, but this is a cast spell here. And it's just called the Hunger, and on reveal, Horde gets a +3. So they're all the cards. So we got all told. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards again. 10 cards again, folks. 10 cards again. So that we're just getting 10 cards every single month practically now, and I guess that's going to kind of be the norm. Obviously the Zombie Scarlet Witch and Headpool are from the season pass, and but yeah, this is kind of crazy that we keep on getting these 10 cards every single month, which is kind of nuts that we are. So okay, now we're going to rank them. And so let me go down the list here of the ones I like. I'm going to start at the bottom. And so my number 10, I'm going to go with Zombie Sentry here. I'm going to go with Zombie Sentry because he is, he's kind of boring. Horde +1 for each card at the right location. I mean, he's not horrible, I guess, if you're using the Horde mechanic. But he's kind of, I don't know, he's kind of uninteresting to me in a way. So, you know, I'm kind of just not enthralled by it. I mean, he is gonna, yeah, like I said, I guess it depends on the horde, but I'm gonna put him at my number 10. Number 9, I'm putting the Zombie Galactic. No, before that, I'm gonna put again. Oh man. It's hard to judge because I don't know how good this horde mechanic is going to be. I'm going to put this Zombie Galactic because this is just weird to me. This is just weird. I'm sure someone's going to find a way to kind of exploit it a little bit, but this is just an odd card. It like with the 7 cost and the fact that you can only get it out if you're playing something that's going to give you the extra mana to do that the extra energy to do that. I don't know. This is just weird. I'm going to put that at number 9. I'm sure maybe somebody will make something good out of it, but I'm going to put that at number 9. Next up, I'm going to put number 8. I'm going to put Zombie Mr. Fantastic. On reveal horde +2, activate, give 4. No, I don't know. He's pretty good. He's not so bad. 8, I'm gonna put down the I forget what these are called, but the spell thing, The Hunger, on reveal, Horde +3. Again, just good with the Horde mechanic, but I'm going to have to see how good this Horde mechanic thing is going to exactly be before I can make a full judgment on this. But I think it might just be boring. We're probably going to get this card in a Sanctum, probably that new Sanctum even, because it's like we did with the last one of these cards that they kind of gave away in a mode. But I'm going to go I'm going to go 10. I'm going to go number 8 with the Hunger. Now we go number 7. And I'm going to put number 7. Man, number 7, I'm going to go with, I don't know. I'm going to go with the season pass. I don't think these season passes are hitting. I really just don't. I don't think they're hitting. Viv Vision really didn't hit this month very much. They had to buff it already. And I think that this one they might have to buff this too, because I don't know. The Zombie Scarlet Witch, it just doesn't seem like it's that interesting or that good. It's just adding to the Horde mechanic. And again, if this Horde mechanic isn't really, really good, then a lot of these cards aren't going to be really that great. So I'm just going to, hers is quite boring. So I'm just going to put her down here at number 6. I don't think it's very good. Number 5, I'm going to go with Zombie Power Man. Again, end of turn, if you're winning here, discard the leftmost card from your hand. Kind of a niche card. Probably, again, good in that Agatha Hella list. Otherwise, I guess he could get played in discard, but I don't know. Discard is hard to take cards from, especially just your static lists. And, this just gives you a way to discard again from the left, but you already have the one that is, the one card in that is already pretty good in Redshift, and Redshift gives you the bonus card and everything too, so it's just better. So I'm going to go with this at number 5. That was number 6. Number 6. So we have 5 more. And number 5, I'm going to go with, this is where I'm going to have Zombie Mr. Fantastic at number 5. So he's a 2/2 again, like I said. Horde +2. Activate, give 4 of your created cards +1 power. So again, has to play in a certain type of deck. You've got to have created cards and things like that in order for him to really work out. But not really hard to do that. And I guess it could be good in a Vicky Hand deck if you're doing that kind of thing, and getting created cards in there. Could kind of work with her. So I'm going to go with him at number, what did I say, 5? When I lost my track here. I have, let me see how many I have left. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4. No, so that was number 4. Ugh, I'm screwing this all up. Could tell I probably shouldn't be doing this late night, yeah? Starting to wind down, starting to get a little tired. All right. Next up, I'm going to go with Colonel America. Colonel America, again, the 3/3. Ongoing, your cards here have +1 power for each turn you've discarded a card. So interesting for discard, and an ongoing that can buff up that can buff up a lane like the regular Captain America does. He's going to just make your cards bigger in that particular lane, and all you have to do is discard a card. So just another way to play discard. Will be interesting to see if people will want to give him a try in some of those static discard lists. Then I'm going to go at number 2 with Zombie Captain Marvel. She can just get big. And the fact that she has the same type of ability that her initial card has, where she can move to a location you're losing to help you win the game. I don't know. I think she is pretty good. And again, activate to destroy your other cards here. So you're gonna have to do some. But again, if you put her in a destroy deck, you're gonna want to destroy cards anyway. Have her, have her in a Dormammu deck, something like that. But yeah, destroy these other cards, and you get +3 power for each. So imagine you have 3 cards in a lane. 3, 6, 9. You're gonna have a 4, 13 that's gonna be able to move to a location that you're losing. So I think she's a pretty good card. And then I'm gonna go with my number 1 card of the month, and I dread saying this. I truly do, because man. I don't want myself to be right in a way, because I really, really don't like Destroy. In fact, I kind of detest the deck. I just do not like Destroy. But man, I can't not see this card being good in a Destroy deck. I just can't see it. Headpool is a 1/1, and it looks like it should definitely be a staple in destroyed decks. I really believe it. When this is destroyed, return it to your hand and give all cards in your hand +1 power. I just don't see why you wouldn't want to play this deck or this card in a destroy list. Again, to me, this could even take the place. Well, yeah, I mean, you're going to keep putting this back into your hand. I don't know. I just don't see that this wouldn't take the place of regular Deadpool, because it's good no matter when you use it. It doesn't matter, and it's just going to keep making your cards in your hand bigger. It's going to make that Venom bigger, make that X-23 bigger, make Death bigger. It's going to add to your Null. So I don't know. This to me, I think, is the card of the month. I really do. I think that this is going to be the best card of this month for sure. So that's Headpool's my number 1. Like I said, I dread it because I don't want to see it happen, but I do kind of think that this will be the best card this month. So. All right, so there is my card ranks, and we're going to continue on. And we're going to go into the just a little bit of discussion here about the bot situation, and the bots and stuff now are, they're getting much more prevalent. I'm seeing so many of them. Like in yesterday when I got into that losing streak, I got almost down to 90. I thought I was going to fall back out of the 90s at some point, and then all of a sudden, I got 2 of the lousy bots that like clearly that they're bad. They snap on you usually turn 1. You can kind of see their collection level. The collection level's on the higher side. It's usually 30,000s, 40,000s, in and around there. Those are the bad bots. And they're so I was able to get an 8 cuber out of it, because most of the time when I see that, I will literally snap immediately, try to get as many cubes out of them as I can. They'll retreat at some point, but I will attempt to get as much out of those as I can, and I did that. I was able to make my way back up a little bit. But yeah, it's these hard bots or the cheater bots or the ones like that they seem to be putting more and more into the game. And like I said, I can see this when I'm watching a creator like Regis Kilbin play the game, and Regis is at like 87 on the ladder, when normally all the time he would be he'd be an infinite. Most of all the other creators would be an infinite, and now they're in the 80s. They're in the 90s at this point in the season because they just, number one, Regis is busy with his own game and stuff like that. So maybe he's just not playing as much anymore. But when I'm hearing it from everybody, when I'm hearing it from the larger creators like Nina, like Alex and stuff like that, when they're all talking about it, it's to me, I think it's got to be something that the devs know about this, and I think it's at a point where it's making the players uncomfortable to this extent, and it's starting to make people get a little bit upset with the game. I don't think that the game should be this hard. I just really don't. I don't think it should be this hard to get to infinite. I understand, like I said, why they did it. I've said that many times. It's because of the downturn of players. It's because of the amount of players who are not currently playing and that they've lost. And it's mostly, I think, because of that we're getting these bots. But I just think that these cheater bots, I think, just need to be toned down. And I know that, like I said, there's other creators that are much higher up the chain than I am, and they've been saying the same thing. So let me know what you feel about them. I just don't like it. They make these plays that just beat you. They just beat you. And as I went over on the pod, I think it was maybe two or three episodes ago even, where I said, it almost seems like they're seeing your cards, they know what you have, and they're just going to make the ultimate play that is absolutely just going to beat you. And you can tell they take forever to take a turn. You're waiting. You almost think that they're going to concede. You almost think that they're gonna quit the game or they're gonna leave the game, and then all of a sudden they make this play that just comes out of left field nowhere. That is like one of the only plays that could possibly win the game that they make, and they end up beating you. So, and it's almost like they think till the very last second, and then it comes out into play, and they beat you. So to me, that's just not fun. And I think it's ruining the game. You're not testing skill at this point. You're not making the game harder. Well, I mean, you are, but you're not making it harder because they're playing other players. They're matching up against other players. They're matching up against a computer that's designed to beat them. It's like it's like being in the movie War Games. The one of Matthew Broderick in the 80s when you're playing against a supercomputer. And, no matter what you do, you're not going to win because the computer can always beat you because it always knows what you have and it can pull cards from anywhere. So to me, I think it's time. I think they should, again, there's something they really need to do. Listen to their audience and realize that people are not having fun with these bots. It's not substituting for players. It's not making the game better, in my opinion. But anyway, yeah, let me know what you think about these so-called cheater bots in the game, and let me know if you think it's making it better, making it worse, or if you have an opinion on it. Otherwise, let me know that too. All right, well, that is the spin for this week. We are going to move on to my next section of the show, which, of course, is your section. It's the request line, folks. And we are going to go and we're going to read some answers to some questions that I had on the X and on Blue Sky. So we're going to go do these. And let's go to the post. Alrighty. So 2 questions for the request line on today's pod. What upcoming month in Snap are you most excited for? Zombies or Spider-Verse? Let me know why. And also, which deck in Marvel Snap do you hate to play against the most? Responses read out on the pod, and thank you. All right, so here's what I got. Now, this is from Twitter. I got reviews from the tub. Hello, reviews from the tub. I think zombies, because it seems like there may be new mechanics with it. And, of course, the horde mechanic. So he's excited. They're excited about the zombie season. Milo is saying most excited for Spider-Verse, and I hate playing against good move players. They always seem to have a huge Human Torch combo and so hard to predict their lines. Mercury Tech card is the only thing keeping me sane in infinite rank. Yeah, the move decks are getting a little out of control. They're getting a little out of control. So I would agree with that. Some even think that move can get somewhat of a nerf at some point. Jerron, definitely zombies and scream decks. Yeah, I'm not a fan of playing against scream decks either. I played against one for the first time in a while in Conquest last night. Just Majesty on Twitter, definitely Spider-Verse. I still don't get the horde mechanic, and I don't have tokens to test them. A toss-up between negative and clog, but negative is so common nowadays, so that is my answer. Yeah, I'm right with you there. Maria, hi, I'm excited for both seasons because I can get new cards. And if I can get the season pass, I'm getting enough resources to add or to get old useful cards that I need. I don't like to play against Destroy with Moira X and Clog. Both are annoying to me. Yes, 100%. Destroy is very annoying, and so is Clog. Clog, though, I think has kind of fallen out of grace a little bit and out of relevance. The thing is, if you're playing with Merlin, you have an easy way around Clog. You just do. You have a very easy way around Clog. And so I don't think Clog is as big now as it was maybe about 2 weeks ago or so. I don't think it's as good as it was. So at least that's coming out of there. My comic book collection says I hate to play against Mill. I can't believe people still play that. It's not good. It's not a good deck. And I can't believe people still are playing it. It's just, I've said this before. It's almost like an addiction in a way. I think it's because of the simplicity of it. I really do. There's certain plays you make on one. There's certain plays you make on two. I think it's just a simplistic style of it is the reason why people do it. Aqua. Zombies. Why? Zombie Devil Dinosaur. I need him. I didn't see a Zombie Devil Dinosaur. That maybe they're making the. It's not one of the cards they're releasing for the month, but maybe they're making a variant. Maybe they're making a variant. That could be. All right, so that is the Twitter part of it, and now I'm going to go to the Blue Sky section of it. So let's head over to Blue Sky, and the first one we have, the first answer, same question. Blue Sky Snapper. .bluesky, bsky.social. Mechanics, zombies. Characters, Spidey. More because I was tired of Marvel Zombies 15 years ago. I hate Clog the most. It's the only deck that punishes you for playing the game. You put cards down, you fool. Ha, ha, ha. I forgot the ha, ha, ha. I can see that. Yeah, Clog is annoying. There's no question about that. Safety Blade, the great Safety Blade, one of the best players in this game. Always had. I've had Safety Blade on my show way back when. I've got to get him back on sometime. Zombies and Prowler, just Prowler. Prowler is going to be a fun card. Prowler is going to be fun. And of course, a fun character. I've always liked Prowler. Always. Now, I'm talking the Prowler from the 70s Spider-Man comics. I liked his suit. I liked his outfit and stuff like that. Always kind of liked him. And of course, now he's just gotten very, very popular with the animated Spider-Man films. So So he wants zombies and prowlers. So there you go. And then I responded, zombie or prowler looks really fun. Safety Blade, of course, is on Blue Sky. Then I got Billy. Billy says, it's billybrownbear.bluesky.social. Safety Blade, by the way, is safetyblade.bluesky.social. Negative is my kryptonite. For whatever reason, anytime I come across it, I think, okay, I've got it won this time, and then lose by 5,000 points. Yep, you and me both. I was very happy when I saw the Mystique nerf. At least it was something. Lauren Whatevs, who's going to be joining me on the show. Lauren Whatevs, .bluesky. Spider-Verse 100%. And if I see Scream or Kingpin, I retreat. Yeah. There's just certain decks that are like that, right? You just get out of there. Like if you know that you're just not, you just don't like the deck. You just don't like it. You do end up just, it's like, yeah, I'm not even gonna stress myself out and play this. I'm just gonna get out, take my 1 cube loss and move on. And you know what? It's probably a very logical thing to do, because it probably would make it so that you wouldn't get yourself so hyped that you wouldn't be upset or mad as much maybe playing the game, because you're not sticking around actually trying to think you can beat it. So good advice. JasonBarry.com. I have always and will always hate Destroy. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think Destroy is one of the most juvenile decks to play. I really do. To me, it just bores the crap out of me. It really does. There is no excitement in Destroy at all for me. None. By far the deck I lose to the most. They get early priority and then just stomp all over me. VoltronPilot.bluesky.social says, definitely Spider-Verse. As a horror fan, I do enjoy zombies, but Marvel zombies stopped being novel or interesting a long time ago. Just like venomizing everything just makes things boring and less colorful. More zombies just feels like low-effort, cookie-cutter content, and Mr. Negative sucks the most. I can 100% agree. SpectroCity8.bluesky.social says, I'm pumped for zombies. I think Horde looks fun, and I'm excited to get out Kitty again with Zombie Scarlet Witch. Yeah, that's a good point. Yep, good combo there. Okay. Well, there you go. They are the answers to my questions that I had, and that is going to wrap up the request line for the week. Again, remember, guys, I am available on the socials, on X, on Blue Sky, and also in my Discord, Snap Decisions, and on Snap Judgments Discord, where I have my own little space in there under Snap Decisions as well. So if you have anything like a poll like this, or any thoughts on a card or deck or anything like that, any thoughts on the game itself, or anything else you would ever like to ask, whether it's in regards to any of the topics I talk about on the show. Could be Marvel Snap. It doesn't have to be. It could be about movies or films. It could be about games or gaming or anything like that. Pop culture stuff, whatever. Music. Feel free to go ahead and send me those, and then I will read those out on the request line. So, all right. We're moving into the next section, and that is Snap Talk. So we're going to talk Snap. Going to open up my, say a prayer, folks. This iPad has been way, way worse since this season started. So say a prayer. Because I don't have the money to buy myself a new iPad. And whenever I have the game open on this iPad, it crashes, as you all know. So I'm certain it will. I guess I could tell you in the meantime, it's just taking even forever to open right now. I just finished up watching some baseball. My Dodgers have gone on from their wild card series. They've swept the Cincinnati Reds. And they are moving on to my most hated of sports teams, the Philadelphia teams, any of them. I hate them all. And they will be playing the Phillies. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe where their season may end. I don't think they match up well against them, but we'll see. We shall see. I think they are, of course, my only team I've got a shot at. Now, last year I did pretty well because the Celtics and the Dodgers both won the championships. Not this past NBA season, but the year before. The Dodgers won the baseball championship and the Celtics won the basketball championship earlier that year. So I did pretty well. But this past year has been rough. The Cowboys are bad, and their defense is still horrendous. And the Celtics, of course, lost Tatum in the playoffs, so that ended that. And then the Dodgers kind of underperformed when everybody was thinking they've got this big super team and they should be winning like hundreds of games, and they didn't. So anyway, a little sports chat from the DJ here. Okay, so let's go to my weekend snap. I'm sitting at 93. I did manage to get up to 95. And then I had that big loss where I went down to 90 and almost ended up going out of the 90s altogether. But I got that bot, and I was able to get 8 cubes of it back, and then I got back up to 93. So I'm sitting at 93. I have a new Wiccan deck for you. This is one that was on the KM Best list. And I'm kind of glad it was, because I told you guys I enjoy playing this deck. And so I like the mechanics behind it. But this one now is just a little bit better than that last one. Has some of the same cards, but some of it is different as well. So I'll read it off. It is, and I know some of you have played this, so that's cool. But it is Quicksilver Domino, like duh. And then it is Viv Vision. Viv Vision is now in this. Mobius and Mobius, Copycat, the same. Silver Surfer First Steps, the same. Negasonic Teenage Warhead is now in it, along with Iron Lad, which is now in it. Wiccan, and Cosmic Ghost Rider. So the mechanics are still there. It still has Quicksilver Domino, but now it has 4 3s. So Viv Vision, Mobius, Copycat, Silver Surfer First Steps. Negasonic, Iron Lad, Wiccan still has Cosmic Ghost Rider. But now this one's a change, and this one's won me games. Alioth. Alioth is in this deck as your other 6. So Magneto gets pulled out, and Alioth is put in. So, and like I said, Alioth is won me decks because in many cases, when you're playing this type of list, you're going to have priority. And when you do, you're going to be able to use Alioth to knock out a potential big turn by them. I beat a negative deck with it when they were going to... I had Mobius down, and I could see they were setting up that stupid Gore Taskmaster garbage. They had Gore out, and I knew what they were going to do, and I was able to Alioth the lane and stop it and win. So this has been pretty good. This has been pretty good. And then, of course, Galactus First Steps is still in it at the end there. So you could try it. It's working pretty good. This is Safety Blade's version of the Last Turn deck. You have to pardon me. My sinuses get bad at nighttime. This is Spider-Ham, Hydra Bob, Athena, Havoc, Herbie. He had Awesome Andy in it, but he replaced that with Herbie. Jocasta, Mobius and Mobius, Invisible Woman First Steps, Fantastic Car, Juggernaut, Stardust, and the Thing First Steps. I could tell you this, with all this Destroy, and especially the Dormammu stuff and everything like that running rampant, you will absolutely beat up on a Destroy deck with this because of Mobius and because of Stardust. Because if you put Stardust out, they cannot Zola and get that big Zola play at the end of the game. So you'll definitely be good against Destroy. And again, Juggernaut, as I told you guys, Juggernaut is an I win card. It is an I win card. It just wins games. And so this is pretty good. If you're looking for something to use Jocasta in, this is a good one. Not necessarily the way I think a lot of people thought it would work out. I saw Alex Kocha play a list similar to this, but he was keeping it like the old end of turn deck was, with the sunspot and all that kind of stuff in there. So, but still very good. I also played this list. Safety Blade had this one out. This is kind of a fun list. It's called I called it Bots and Wizards, but it's the Hood, Zabu, Spider-Ham, Awesome Andy, Merlin, Jocasta, Werewolf by Night, Viper, Super Adaptoid, which is fun to play with Jocasta, by the way. Lots of negatives spreading around. I'm sorry, not Super Adaptoid. Super Adaptoid is one of the copies. I'm sorry, Omega Sentinel. And then Danger and Sentry. So it's a Sentry and Eyeless list, where you can also Viper the Void. You could also Viper a Hood. So you're getting a lot of, you're trying to get a lot of negative on them. And of course with Omega Sentinel as well. And then you got the Werewolf just bouncing around everywhere, just getting bigger and bigger. So it was kind of fun. And of course Merlin is in there too. I played this one in Conquest. There's another safety deck. This is a Lockjaw deck. It's Sunspot, Jennifer Kale, Lockjaw, Warlock, Luna Snow, Shuri, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Legion, Blink, Alioth, She-Hulk, and Infinite. So you have different ways to get the Infinite out. Obviously, if he's not in your hand, you can get him out via Lockjaw. And then Shuri can double up a She-Hulk, double up an Alioth. It's kind of just a crazy deck, but it's fun. By the way, I got the killer James Ryman version of Jennifer Kale. This is the version from Agatha All Along, which I absolutely love. I had to get it. What else? This deck apparently is popular. Now, I haven't tried this yet. It's apparently one of the better decks in the meta right now, which when I looked at it, I'm like, why? But numbers don't lie. It's Surge, Mercury. Now, Mercury, I could see like high-end ladder players because of all of the move. Mr. Sinister, Mysterio, Brood, Killmonger, Viv Vision, Mobius and Mobius, Silver Surfer First Steps, Gwenpool, Juggernaut, and the Thing First Steps. So just a mishmash of cards. But it's kind of like you've got the tech, right? Like the Mobius tech, the Killmonger tech to get rid of like a big Human Torch, Mercury to keep move decks from doing their thing. So there, it's kind of maybe just a replacement of a tech deck. And then of course you use the Gwenpool, you can just get a big Brood. Thing could just blow up a card. So I'm not really sure why it's as good as it is, but it supposedly is. I played a little bit of Sauron. This is the new version of this. Ghost Spider, Sauron Zero, Lizard, Luna, Starbrand, Juggernaut. Notice all the Juggernaut. Negasonic, Crossbones, Enchantress, Red Skull, and Scar. So again, easy to play. The Ghost Spider is just going to move something maybe out of the way. You might think you're going to get shanged or something like that you can just move it. And then I've got the Kang Arashim deck, which is Iron Patriot, Valentina, Kang, Shang-Chi, Juggernaut, Kahori, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Legion, Agamotto, Mockingbird, Thanos, and Arashim. So this is just one of those fill up your hands and hope for the best type of decks. And that's really the ones I played over the course of this week. So, all right, let's go and look. We do have a new album. It's under Ryman Reason. And these are the James Ryman variants. I have 3 of them. I got the Merlin. I got the Thanos. with his sword. That's really cool. And I got the Jennifer Kale, as I told you guys already. Now, these are expensive. They're 1,200 gold. I got the 2,000 gold already for the 3 that I got. The second prize is 3 premium mystery borders. There is a card in here. So it's the James Ryman variant of Dormammu. And then you get 5,000 collector tokens if you finish it. But there is an Iron Lad. There's a Martyr. There's a Hulkbuster. An Ultron. The Infinite. There's a Venom. Who needs more Venom? Good God, we have so many Venoms. Ancient One. Morgan Le Fay. And Clea. So some different ones in here. But again, they're quite expensive. Quite expensive. So, all right, we're going to look at some of the variants that I've got over the course of the week, and I got a good deal of them. Let's start off here. I think I got this last week because, yeah, I did. Okay. So I got the Super Adaptoid. The one that looks like a chibi, the Rogden Moon Colony one. I just got that from a pack, or a chest that I opened up, actually. I was telling you guys I got the Thanos with the sword, who looks badass. Probably the MCU Thanos, I would think. Although, no, it kind of does look like the comic book Thanos, but he has the MCU Thanos sword. Out of nowhere, I got the Spider-Man Marvel Rivals variant, which I didn't really collect any of those because those things don't even split. They don't even look that nice. I got the Dan Hip Super Scroll. Looks so cool. It looks so cool. It's showing off all the Fantastic Four powers. I love it. I think it's awesome. And, of course, I got the Merlin, James Ryman variant of Merlin, which looks sick. He's got, like, his hand coming out. Almost looks like a tree. Or, like oh, no, never mind. That is a cane that he has. That is probably part of a tree. So, duh. I thought that was his hand, like, real creepy hand. It was a tree. The MCU Jennifer Kale's badass. And that's really it for the variants and stuff that I picked up this week. I didn't get nearly as many as I got last week. And there's the iPad crash. I'm going to shout out in this little bit of time. If you guys are into watching gaming streamers, and I find myself very entertained by this gentleman. His name is Maximilian Dood, D-O-D, on YouTube. I've been watching him play some horror games. I watched him play Silent Hill 2, the remake, which made me go and buy it. And now I'm watching him play Resident Evil 4. So he's pretty entertaining. He's pretty good. And you know what? It's kind of fun sometimes to just watch people play these games rather than get frustrated. I don't think I'd ever play Resident Evil 4 because it looks like it's kind of difficult, and I don't think I'd be in for it or invested. But yeah, check him out. He's pretty fun to watch. All right, so let's go in the shop and we'll finish up the Snap Talk. So there's a Jocasta exclusive offer for me in here for $9.99 for the Cyberpunk Jocasta variant. We got a new Symbiote Snare variant, which is Lasher for $29. Mystic Idol Magic Clea for $50, where you get 2,500 gold back, 5,000 credits, and a purple cosmic border. The Unstoppable Object is Hulkbuster that's been there for a while. And then in my store today are some more of these James Rymans. We have Ancient One, Ultron, James Ryman, Hulkbuster, Jennifer Kale, which I bought. We have the Leo Chiola Eson. We have Rian Gonzalez, Rogue, and Art Terms, Killmonger, along with a 700 one, which I will pull eventually. Chibi Cyberpunk variant of Jocasta. So I will end up getting that without having to spend on it because I am collection complete. with all of those except for that one in particular. So that is the Snap Talk section. And now it is Comics Corner time. So we are going to go to talk about Jocasta. Everything you wanted to know and more about Jocasta, who is, by the way, coming to that Vision Quest series. They already have her actress cast. That is Tanaya Miller cast as Jocasta for the Marvel Vision Quest series. So that's cool. So she's already been cast. She will be coming soon. All right. Let's get to it. Jocasta Pym from Earth 616. Here's her quote. "You brought a predator among these children, Henry. You assembled them in one place, an irresistible target, and failed to protect them. On the contrary, you endangered them. This incident geographically proves what the data I collected showed as indisputable fact. Avengers Academy is a mistake. We are here to shut it down." So that was a quote from Jocasta. Her name, Jocasta Pym. Nicknames, Jay, Joe, and Joel. Other aliases, Bride of Ultron, Jocasta Jocasta V. Quiteria. Affiliations and relationships. She is married. She's female, 5'9", height, weight 750 pounds. Damn. Eyeballs are red, sometimes green. No hair at all. Skin is silver. Robot created by Ultron. She is alive. Permanent or personal information, identity, no dual identity. She is an adventurer. Artificial intelligence. Base of operations, formerly Avengers Compound, Los Angeles, Infinite Avengers Mansion. And the creators, Jim Shooter and George Perez, in Avengers 162 in May of 1977. That was really when I was reading a ton of comics, the late 70s. So here we go. The robot named Jocasta was built by the robot Ultron in order that he may have a mate. To better allow this robot sentience, Ultron brainwashed his own maker, Hank Pym, into transferring the mind of his wife, Janet Van Dyne, the Wasp, into Jocasta's shell. The Wasp in Jocasta's body alerted her teammates, the Avengers, who defeated Ultron and reversed the process, leaving Jocasta a mindless husk. First revival. Ultron later revived Jocasta with a remote link, activating the mental residue the Wasp left behind. Jocasta was programmed to be loyal to Ultron, but eventually betrayed him, choosing to help the Avengers defeat him again. Afterwards, Jocasta adventured with the Avengers for a time, but never felt accepted and left them just before she, unbeknownst to her, was made an official member. Wandering the country, Jocasta was controlled by a pre-programmed suggestion to rebuild Ultron. She did, but soon teamed up with Fantastic Four member The Thing and a robot called Machine Man. Another reference to Machine Man, who, my God, we need in Snap. Why wasn't he in this month? He's an android. I know he's half man, but still, he needs a card, like badly. Reached down his throat to tear out his vital circuitry. The Avengers held a memorial for their fallen ally, and Machine Man attended, realizing his love for Jocasta. See? He should be in it. Jocasta was reassembled sometime later by agents of the megalomaniac villain, the High Evolutionary. Jocasta retained enough of her programming to signal the Avengers and soon teamed with them to thwart the Evolutionary's plans to alter people of Earth. Jocasta sacrificed herself once again to blow up the Evolutionary's base, but not before Captain America assured her that she was a true Avenger. Jocasta's robotic head was later discovered by Machine Man, who'd been working on a way to resurrect his lover. When he was attacked by a form of the alien Terminus in the same area, the arms dealer known as Madame Menace became involved in the fray and found Jocasta's lost head, appropriating it for her own purposes. Much later, Madame Menace manipulated events so that Tony Stark would unlock Jocasta's programming to make her turn into the basis for Menace's new weapon systems. Tony Stark soon realized the identity of the android and helped Jocasta to awaken. Jocasta managed to turn the tables on Madame Menace, seemingly sacrificing herself yet again. In reality, Jocasta managed to survive by downloading her intelligence into Iron Man's computerized armor, where she reasserted herself. Jocasta's intelligence was placed within Tony Stark's computerized mansion, and she would help him with daily operation of his mansion as well as to procure information as needed. Fortunately, since the Iron Man armor was used to house the programming that made up Jocasta, it became infected with a pre-programmed subconscious suggestion to rebuild Ultron, but instead managed to develop its own artificial intelligence. Stark was almost killed in a confrontation with the armor, but in the end, it sacrificed itself to allow Stark to live. Stark left the armor behind on a deserted island. The armor was revived, however, by the Sons of Yin Sen, a quasi-religious cult founded in remembrance of Yin Sen, the creator of the original Iron Man armor that allowed Tony Stark to escape his captors in Xi'an Kong. Free of its artificial intelligence, the armor was contacted via remote by the head of Ultron, disembodied after his most recent encounter of the Avengers and in the company of the biosynthetic robot being known as Anti-Gon. The head attached itself onto the armor and took control of the Sons of Yin Sen and the flying city that they inhabited. Another member of the Sons of Yin Sen was helping Tony Stark in the guise of Iron Man. The two learned of Ultron's activities and that he planned to use the cult to wipe out humanity. Stark confronted Ultron directly and finally managed to download Jocasta's intelligence into the armor once more. The vestiges of the armor's intelligence battled with the presence Jocasta, the result of which caused Ultron's head to come shooting off the armor. The head hit Anti-Gon, and both fell off the floating city, which Ultron rigged to explode after his defeat. Stark failed to find a trace of Jocasta and assumed her to have died fighting the sentient armor. In reality, Jocasta did not die. She appeared in possession of Anti-Gon's body and left, taking Ultron's head with her. Marvel Zombies. Jocasta, as her classic silver robotic form, joined forces with Armor to enter a hostile zombie-infested reality, along with a secret impersonator of Machine Man, in order to find a cure for the zombie virus. After the mission, Jocasta and Machine Man started dating. Jocasta became a member of the New Mexico Initiative Team, the Mavericks. She later teamed up with the Skrull Kill Crew to fight Skrulls during the Secret Invasion. Jocasta became a member of the Mighty Avengers. She later became mechanically attached to Salvation 2 in order to keep the Pym Pocket from dislodging from its own personal dimension. Jocasta then married Ultron, possibly to stall him from causing any more trouble in the future, her human-limbed body going off to space to live with them, while she also simultaneously stayed active on Earth in a standard, fully metallic body. When Hank Pym founded the Avengers Academy, he brought Jocasta in as a teacher. Her first interaction with the students was when Quicksilver asked to rebuild Arsenal as a training exercise under the pretense it had been approved by the rest of the staff. Project Escape. When Tony Stark refashioned his company into Stark Unlimited, he sought Jocasta's help to establish an ethical protocol for robot life forms, and she became the company's chief robot ethicist. Despite her uncaring exterior, Jocasta wished to belong among the humans, but struggled to fit in. Because of this, she helped Stark Unlimited develop a virtual universe called the Escape. This caused a rift between Jocasta and the Machine Man, since he had become a militant of mecha activism and considered Escape an appropriation of robo-culture. The supervillain Controller facilitated Machine Man access into the Escape, but his sabotage attempt was stopped. Jocasta broke up with Aaron and moved to Stark Unlimited afterwards. By the time Escape launched as a consumer product, Jocasta made heavy use of the virtual world to experience life as a human. When trouble arose due to the machinations of the Controller, Jocasta sought Aaron's help in stabilizing the situation using his access key. During the chaos, the Escape's corrupt operating system motherboard erased the programming of Stark's former digital assistant Friday. After the situation was contained, Tony tried to bring Friday back. Using a backup of her programming, Jocasta saw it as negligent, arguing the original Friday would still be dead. Because of this, she left Stark Unlimited and returned to Machine Man. Jocasta was additionally left devastated by the escape shutting down, since she was unable to simulate being a human any longer. Fueled by her desire to become more human, Jocasta sought the help of Tony's brother Arno to upgrade her body with more human-like artificial organs. Unbeknownst to Jocasta, her new yearning influenced Ultron through the bond that they shared, giving shape to his new objective to turn humanity into a machine, hybrids. In a similar way, he had been physically merged with his creator, Hank Pym. The villain kidnapped Jocasta in the middle of Ammo's procedure and intended to use a molecular fusion process to merge her with the Wasp. Iron Man intervened with the help of Machine Man, and Ultron was eventually defeated. In the process, Jocasta's system started to fail since her body had been abducted by Ultron midway into Arno's operation. To save her life, Jocasta's former co-worker Andy Bang, B-H-A-N-G, uploaded her mind into the disused body that belonged to Friday. This body was severely damaged in battle against Ultron, and Jocasta was taken for repair by Arno after he seized control of Stark Unlimited, but he denied her allies access to her. Arno eventually finished building Jocasta a new, less humanoid body during the robot revolution. He additionally equipped her operative system with a code that made her compliant to humans. Jocasta became the first subject of this submission code, which Ammo planned to broadcast worldwide in order to subjugate the entirety of robot kind. When the premier force of Robo-Liberation, the AI Army, became aware of this, they assaulted Bane Tower to stop it. Aaron was a general of the AI Army, and Arno had Jocasta lure him away from the fight. Jocasta took Aaron to a Banetronics facility and introduced him to his would-be successor and her new lover, X-52. Jocasta and X-52 attempted to convince Aaron to escape the submission code to achieve peace of mind, but he resisted them. Aaron decapitated Jocasta and destroyed X-52, then fled from the facility with Jocasta's head. He took Jocasta to Andy Bang, and he managed to reverse the submission code using a backdoor key he had slipped into its programming when Sunset Bane had him work on it. Jocasta was subsequently given a new body. Jocasta later aided the AI Army, Andy Bang, Bethany Cabe, and rescue and attacking Bane Tower in order to restore Tony Stark's body using the tower's biotubes. When she confronted Sunset Bane, who was actually an AI duplicate created by Ammo, Jocasta subjected her to the same submission code to make her surrender. After Stark's body was restored, Jocasta, Stark, and their allies went to the Stark space station to stop Arno's made plan to take control of humankind to fight the non-existent extinction entity, a delusion caused by his relapsing illness. Tony was able to subdue Arno by submerging him into a virtual reality where the extinction entity was real, and he managed to stop it. Still pulling Bane's strings with the submission code, Jocasta made her take all the blame for the actions of the AI Army and Arno. Her powers. Computer integration can also detect energy patterns and track them to their source. Hyper-intelligent and can communicate through incalculable number of mediums. Superhuman strength, can lift 5 tons. Durability, speed, senses, reflexes, energy manipulation. Eye blasters. Hand beams, area of effect, energy waves, force field, technoforming, shapeshifting, flight, multiple bodies, holographic image inducer. Requires no food, water, or oxygen to survive and is immune to poisons and diseases. While Jocasta is a creation of Ultron, like the Vision, making them siblings, she has acknowledged that an alternative interpretation to their relationship is that she is the Vision's stepmother, since she was created to be Ultron's bride. All right. So there you go. All right. So we're going to take a look at the Marvel Unlimited app and look at Jocasta. Jocasta, the female automaton created by Ultron, and originally possessed the mind of Janet Van Dyne, a.k.a. the Wasp. Despite sacrificing herself to save Janet, she was later activated and retained her essence. For her heroic nature, Jocasta became an honorary member of the Avengers. And we will look at where she has been. Whoa, what's this? Machine Man has his own comic? Dude. Shit, well, I know what I'm reading that. He does indeed have his own book. That is pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. I'm going to have to read that one. Bookmark that sucker. I did not know that. But, yep, he has his own book. Came out in 2020. So that is pretty darn cool. And that came right up when I looked up Jocasta. That is pretty awesome. She was in that, so I'm going to be reading that one. That came out in, like I said, 2020. Tony Stark Iron Man from 2018 to 2019. A bunch of issues for that. Avengers Academy. Ooh, that cover has the artwork for Hazmat that we have in the game. Fear Itself, which I told you guys you should read. Marvel Zombies. Mighty Avengers. There's a bunch, as you would imagine. A lot of Avengers books. Iron Man. Still going. These are back in the 90s now, 98 to 2004. There's a 2-in-1, Marvel 2-in-1 from 1974 to 1983. The Thing and Jocasta. I think I mentioned that. Avengers from 63 to 96. So she's been in a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. And this goes back to her origin. Avengers issue 194, 197. That came out in 1980. So, good amount of stuff here. And if you want to read about Jocasta, you can just go in. There's a little star underneath her name here that says follow characters. So basically, when you click that, anything from her will then be automatically starred and added into your library, or any new books come out with her, and you will know about those. Speaking of new books, let's see what is out this week. We have got these are like blacked out covers. What is this? Midnight Massacre. The Night Stalkers. Oh, these may be reprints. It's from 1992. Actually, 1993. Morbius has one as well. Looks like they're putting out a lot of scary books. Spirits of Vengeance. Yeah. But these are reprints. Now I get some new ones. So the Marvel Rivals Infinity comic up to issue number 22 is new. Astonishing Miles Morales Spider-Man issue number 8 is new. Giant Size Age of Apocalypse number 1. The Incredible Hulk. I love this book. One of my favorites that's out right now. It is for sure a horror title. I've said that a bunch of times. But it's very, very good. It's up to issue number 26. Ultimate Spider-Man, I get sadder and sadder knowing that this is ending. I think they're ending it at issue 24, so there's 6 issues left. I absolutely love the book. Doom Academy, issue number 5. Spider-Man and Predator, issue number 3. Spider-Man and Wolverine, issue number 2. Superior Avengers, issue number 3. Deadpool, issue number 15. Uncanny X-Men, issue 16. Fantastic Four Zero, issue number 33. Legacy of Vader, that is the Kylo Ren book. That's pretty good if you're a Star Wars fan. The Vision and Scarlet Witch, issue number 2. Wolverine and Kitty Pryde, issue number 3. The Thing, his own book, is up to issue 2. And then we got Jeff Week, Infinity Comic. So it's kind of a lighter week this week in books, but that is what I have been reading. And there's some trending titles. Ultimates 2024, X-Men 2024. The new Amazing Spider-Man, which I haven't read yet. I have to read that. That's the one where he's with Black Cat. Emma Frost, White Queen, issue number 1. Iron Man, issue number 9. Avengers vs. Aliens, issue number 4. Avengers themselves, issue number 27. Bring on the Bad Guys, Doom. The Fantastic Four First Steps. That's the prequel to the movie. So these are all books that are trending, and a bunch of them I do want to read, actually. So Magic, which I said is very good. The Giant Size books, Giant Size Amazing Spider-Man. So they are all trending books in the app right now. So again, like I said, if you don't have a way to get to a comic book store, if you're not into buying the big graphic novels, the app is no better place than you could do than the app. Get the Marvel Unlimited app, $9.99 a month, and you get access to all of these cool books. And then, of course, the DC Infinite one, which I've been reading as well, that you can get a free trial for. And check out a whole bunch of DC stuff, too, if that's what you're into. So, all right. Before we go to the MCU Minute, I have to tell you guys a story. It's story time. And it's late, and it's appropriate, but it's story time. I have always been a huge fan of the X-Files. And I've been a fan of like UFO stuff for a long, long time. Probably starting when I saw Close Encounters of the Third Kind was when I got infatuated with it. But and you know, kind of a man crush, celebrity crush, whatever you want to call it. I've always been a big fan of Gillian Anderson's. And I like redheads, always have. My wife's a redhead, you know. And so, but I was reminded by my youngest daughter, or my oldest daughter rather, that I used to watch it a lot in our apartment when we were first living together and we first had my daughter. And so a friend of mine got in touch with me, and he sent me a convention that's upcoming, which is called Monster Mania. And here she is going to be there, and she's signing autographs, right? And doing photo ops actually. But she's going to be there. So he sent it, and he's like, dude, you need to go. Like, you absolutely need to go. And I said, oh my gosh. I looked at the dates. The dates are like the end of November. So it's quite late in November. And in our area here, you know, we can easily get bad weather at that point in time. And the tickets are non-refundable. Tickets are like $150, so it's a lot. So I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh. So then he sends me another message. Now they have almost the entire cast of the X-Files except for Duchovny. The cigarette smoking man is there. I forget the actor's name. The guy who played Skinner, the actor who played Skinner, is going to be there. Robert Patrick is going to be there, who was in Annabeth Gish. They came along later in the series. But so many of the actors, along with just other cool actors. There's some actors that have played Jason. You guys all know how much a fan I am of him. And then D'Onofrio, who plays the Kingpin, is going to be like just so many. So I'm just bouncing back and forth as to what I'm going to do. And my oldest daughter calls me up and she said, Dad, we're going to get you the photo op as a Christmas gift. She said, now call Uncle Dennis, who's my brother-in-law, because apparently they live close to the venue. So I called him up, and I'm talking to my brother-in-law, who's great dude, and I'm talking to him, and he says, "Yeah, man." He said, "We're like 10 minutes from there," and I'm like, "Oh." So now I'm at the point where now I have no excuse, right? Because I don't have an excuse for the weather, because I could just stay there if worse comes to worse. So I'm like, all right. Well, so my daughter calls me up, and she's like, "We don't know what to get you for Christmas. We're getting you the photo op." And I'm like, oh my God. So now I'm going nuts, right? I'm actually going to have a picture taken with Gillian Anderson. Oh my God. Now I know what these things are like. You kind of just get you're standing in line, you kind of just get pushed through, right? It's like probably a 30-second thing, if that you get the photo op and stuff like that. But I don't care. I'm going to have my say. I'm going to say something to her, even if it's in 30 seconds. But I am just thrilled that I'm going to be able to do that. It's just amazing. And my daughter's the best. But this is what I'm going to say to you guys is just a couple things, and these are just kind of life lessons. I had the bariatric surgery last year, June of last year, and I was in a position where I was like 440 pounds, right? And I couldn't get around. I couldn't walk much. And I missed out on so much. Wanted to go and see my buddy who we do the wrestling pod together. I was going to go to an event up there, a wrestling event, and see it, and get to meet some of the wrestlers and all this kind of stuff. And I didn't go because my knees would get so sore on long car rides. And, as you can imagine, I couldn't get around very well and stuff like that. So I was like, nope. I also missed out on a thing to meet Bray Wyatt, who I absolutely love, the wrestler. I have a tattoo of him. I've never got a tattoo in my life before I got the moth tattoo when Bray passed away. And I could have met Bray, and I didn't go. And again, because of the weight thing holding me back. Things are so different now. I'm 220 pounds lighter. I am literally half of myself. Before I had the surgery. And the whole thing, because of that, was not only for my health and well-being, but also because I could do things that I could never do before. And just realize that you're never in a position where you can't change your life in some way. And when you do, the lesson here is to make sure that you make the best of it. Make sure that you do some of the things that you were never able to do before. And man, just going to that convention and stuff like that, meeting an actress who I've enjoyed her work and ever since watching the X-Files, and it's going to be such a cool thing to do. But that's just the start of it. I want to do things I was never able to do before. I want to go to Disney. My family has gone to Disney. Prior to that, I couldn't because I just couldn't walk around that much. But I really want to do that kind of stuff. And now that I've dropped all that weight and I'm a different person now, I have more energy. So never feel as if you can't change your life, because there's ways that you certainly can. And I'm forever thankful to my doctor, my surgeon who did the surgery, and just the people who kind of just convinced me, my family, my wife, my kids, and everything. Because it's scary. It doesn't matter when you have surgery done; it's scary. And convincing me to do that, I'm just So I'm a different person, but this is the kind of thing that I wanted to do, and I wanted to realize these things. And I'm getting older. I just turned 56, so life is passing by, and I want to make sure that I'm able to go and do that. So I'm thrilled to be able to do that. So I just kind of wanted to share that with you, just a little thing about me. So, all right, let's get to the MCU minute. And we'll see if there's any cool news out there. I haven't really heard too much. Well, Well, here's one from the direct. Avengers Doomsday. All 8 Marvel villains reported to appear in the movie. So, arguably the biggest cast of actors in comic book history. Multiple generations of stars from the last 30 years. Good and evil. So, villains who will be in Doomsday. Like Doctor Doom. Duh, of course. Might be evil in Doomsday. They have marked here. Magneto. Ian McKellen, of course, will be playing Magneto. Mystique. Already Rebecca Romaine said that she is obviously in it. She was on the casting seats. Loki, Tom Hiddleston. He's going to probably play a pretty big role in this, I would imagine. Ghost will be in it. U.S. Agent, I guess you can kind of consider him a villain, but he was a good guy in Thunderbolt, so. But he'll be in it. Sentry, I think, is going to play a big part in this. And I think he's going to play the part of a big character in Secret War 2015 that we haven't been introduced yet to in the Marvel universe, that I think he's going to end up playing. So I think he's going to end up being manipulated by Doctor Doom, and I think he's going to play a very, very, very big part. Very big part. Namor. Yeah, he's kind of an anti-hero. He's not really a villain in the MCU, but yeah, we'll see how that works out. He's kind of been an anti-hero type of a personality. So, this is from Fandom Wire. Avengers Doomsday has scenes 50 times better than Wesley Snipes' Blade's MCU debut. Channing Tatum claims Avengers Doomsday will blow minds, calling it 50 times bigger than Blade's epic Deadpool and Wolverine entrance. So he's talking about like surprise members of like when you saw Wesley Snipes, everybody was shocked because they didn't expect it in Deadpool and Wolverine. Remember when the audience lost their minds when Wesley Snipes' Blade showed up in Doomsday and Deadpool and Wolverine? Turns out Avengers Doomsday is going to be 50 times crazier, at least according to Channing Tatum. After making his Gambit debut, Tatum is reprising the role in the Avengers film, and he has a lot to say about it. Talking to Entertainment Tonight, the Magic Mike actor teased that Doomsday is going to be so wild, it might make your brains ooze out of your ears. Adding to it, Tatum compared the film to the Blade's entry in Deadpool and Wolverine, stating it's going to be 50 times better than that. And quote, he says, I don't know how to describe it to you. It's like going to make your brains ooze out of your ears. Like in the way I knew when Blade walked, the way I knew when Blade walks on screen in Deadpool and Wolverine, people are going to physically lose their minds. It's that, but I don't know, maybe times 50. It's going to be one of them things, as a comic book fan, you're just not ready. We're not ready. That's cool, though. This is from Screen Rant. Avengers Doomsday Endgame set photo stokes Avengers versus X-Men hopes. New set photo confirms the story features an Avengers versus X-Men clash. With 7 years between the release dates of Doomsday and Endgame being the biggest superhero movie of all time, it's safe to say there's a lot of curiosity about how Doomsday will handle its story. Major details about what to expect, still relatively few and far between. And the major X-Men theory that's emerged from it is even more interesting. This is the Russo brothers just put this out. And they posted this on their Instagram, and all it says is look hard. So, it's a set photo posted online by the Russo brothers. The image and its caption replicates a famous Avengers Endgame set photo, which showed the 2019 movie's own set layout in a format where Endgame could be read in the arrangement of the things in the picture. Naturally, this has led eagle-eyed fans to try and see what is concealed in the Doomsday photo. Perhaps the most interesting theory that's emerged about what this means for the upcoming movie has been hit upon by those who believe that the image's layout spells AVX, which would be a reference to the Avengers versus X-Men comics. It's already confirmed that many classic X-Men actors will reprise their roles in Avengers, Doomsday, and pre-existing theories about two factions being set up for conflict means the AVX does hold some weight. Indeed, there are a few reasons that this being a tease of an impending hero versus hero conflict would seem fitting for the film's trajectory. Since the X-Men are set for a reboot, giving the Fox X-Men actors who've now been established a suitably grand send-off seems only right. And this setup looks to easily at least partial adaptation of the X-Men versus Avengers story and concept. So yeah, take a look at that picture on their Instagram. It's the Russo brothers, and try to make it out yourself. You could see an A, obviously pretty clear. Then there's a table there, which could be a V on the table down underneath it where the legs are. And then there are things on the wall to the right that could be X's. So yeah, I could see where that where people might be thinking that. And that's definitely been alluded to for sure. MCU cancels upcoming Phase 6 film. The MCU is chugging along. Many have argued it's not as good as it used to be. Marvel Studios thinking 10 steps ahead at all times. The untitled Marvel event film was supposed to be due for release in Phase 6, but has since been shelved. Does anyone guess as to what it was supposed to be about? Given that it's a Marvel event film, it kind of sounds like it would have been another crossover of some kind, nothing enormous like Avengers films, but perhaps something a bit small scale. Many have speculated it would be the next Doctor Strange film. After all, the third film was teased in the post-credit scene, and we're yet to see anything about become of it. Sequel to Shang-Chi. Whatever it's supposed to be, it's no longer happening. But as long as Marvel doesn't announce what it was, it can't be too disappointed. Phase 6 is coming to a close. Next year will kick off Phase 7 with Spider-Man Brand New Day. This is from Superhero Hype. Spider-Man 4's exciting MCU cameo revealed in a new report. A fan favorite MCU character will be appearing in Spider-Man 4. Spider-Man 4, also known as Spider-Man Brand New Day, is in production, directed by Shang-Chi and Legend of Ten Rings destined Daniel Cretton, who's reportedly appearing. Numerous rumors that Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock Daredevil will be appearing in Spider-Man 4 in some capacity. Nuke the Fridge is now reporting that he will indeed have a role to play in the Marvel movie. There's been no official confirmation regarding Cox being in Brand New Day, meaning it should be treated as a rumor. However, it would make some amount of sense, given that he appeared in a brief scene featuring Spider-Man No Way Home. John Barenthal's Frank Castle will be there, obviously, as well. So there you go. So maybe they're going to fulfill that, and Daredevil will be in it. The MCU just unleashed the most powerful Hulk ever. Not even Savage Hulk stands a chance. Losing to Avengers. Last time he really makes an impact. He'll be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. A certain version of the character from the comics will finally make his action debut when it comes to fruition. Hulk will be let loose again. Oh, they're talking about Marvel Zombies. Quantum virus that turns most of humanity into the Scarlet Witch. Yeah, this is a Marvel Zombies thing. And I think that's going to about do it. Not too much going on. Other than the stuff about Marvel Zombies. So, all right, guys, it is time for the Dazzlers Lyric Challenge. Dazzlers Lyric Challenge it is, folks. And, all right, let's see here. This one is going to be a challenge. This one's going to be tough because this is one that I even had a hard time when I heard this song on the radio. I loved it. I loved it from the first time I heard it. I went crazy trying to find out who sang it, because it was on the weekly top 40 back in the day with Casey Kasem, and I was trying to figure out who exactly it was that sang it. Okay, I could not find it. Could not. And I never heard the point on the radio where I heard the artist. And we lived in technology where we couldn't look up stuff. So you had no way to find it. The only way that you could find things back then was to go to a record store, and they had books in there, like these big books. And I know this because I worked in listing booth, was literally one of my first jobs when I was like 15 years old. And we had these big yellow books where we could look up artists and stuff like that. Or you could find it by a title of an album and stuff like that too. But I didn't even know what album this was from. So I went crazy. I was calling record stores, asking for, because I knew the title. So I was asking for the song and stuff like that. Nobody knew. Nobody knew. And finally, like some years later, enough to where I could have bought the album, but I didn't know who it was. I kind of forgot about it for a little while. But then when MTV obviously came about, that was when I found out who sang it, because they show the artist, the title and stuff like that. And it was a cool video. So I finally found out who sang it. And here, when I went to start my DJ ship at the radio station in college, they had a promo copy of this album, which I ended up with. They actually gave it to me, which was very cool. And the promo copy it was cool because when some of these artists who were a little more unknown would send a promo copy to a radio station, of course the record label wants you to play it, and in it had it had a picture, a black and white photo of the artist, and it had a blurb about the artist, kind of tells you who he or she is and what they do and all that kind of stuff, and what they've done before. So it was just cool, and I still have it. So it was kind of neat. So I'm going to read you some of the lyrics from this song, and we'll see. This I think is going to be a tough one because I don't think a lot of you are going to know this song. It is, but I will tell you that there's a YouTuber, actually YouTubers. It's a husband and wife that do reviews on YouTube of songs. And mostly songs, but they do reviews of almost anything you send them. You could literally pay to have them review something on their YouTube channel, which is kind of cute. They were in a band, I think, together at some point. I'm not going to tell you who the YouTubers are because I think it would give it away. But I actually sent them a request to do this song, and they did it on their channel, which was very cool. And so I was able to get it on their channel, and they listen to it, and they basically review it, and they talk about the song a little bit. So that was kind of neat. But anyway, this is the song. If you get it, I'll be very impressed, because this is a deep, not a deep cut, but this is, like I said, it definitely made the top 40 countdown. I don't know how high it got, but of course this was the artist's most popular song, I would definitely say. The song title was used by another band many years, and it wasn't a cover. At first when I saw it, I thought, oh man, they covered this, but it wasn't a cover. Completely different song, but the same title, the same song title. So, but I love this song. And it is from 1984, to be exact. But here we go. She's a wizard with her shears. she's been turning heads for years. All the darlings and the dears say she's got the touch. An exclusive clientele. Oh, she knows each one so well. No one dares to kiss and tell. She knows too much. So there you go. That's the lyrics. Try not to cheat, because I know you can type all that stuff in. You could listen to it over and over and try. I kind of really want. I can't stop any of you from doing that, obviously, but I kind of want you to guess it. And what I'm trying to do here is kind of expand your music a little bit, and kind of bring light to some of these artists who are maybe a little lesser known. But this gentleman unfortunately did pass away. He was a pop rock singer, but then later on became a country singer, actually. So yeah, but that is the Dazzlers lyric challenge for the week. We'll see who's going to get it. But this is, man, such a cool MTV video. Not kind of the way I thought it would go, but this is definitely an 80s thing. Definitely an 80s thing. But it's very cool. And I'll reveal those that other YouTuber that does it, and you can see when they read off that they've done a review of this song, and they read off my little blurb that I sent them to do the song. So, all right, guys. Well, there you go. That is going to wrap it up for this particular episode. I hope you all have enjoyed the end of the Marvel Snap Android season. We did get those OTAs. Some of them reverted, but some of them not. Shang-Chi stayed, which I was really surprised with. I did not think they were going to do that. So I was really, really surprised they did not revert Shang-Chi. They kept him the way he was. So that had to be a celebration for some people, right? Had to be happy with that one. But they did indeed keep some of them the same. And I think they kept Negasonic as what she was. So pretty surprising that they did that. So anyway, look, I hope you enjoy the rest of the season with Jocasta. We've got only a couple days left. It is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday. So 5 days left to get to wherever you want to go. I hope you reach your goals. I hope you get to infinite if you're looking to try to do that. Or whatever you're trying to do in the game, get an infinite border and conquest, whatever. Have fun, because that's what makes the most out of the game. And enjoy the last part of this season. And then, of course, into Marvel Zombies when I will be with you next. I do have some guests, like I said, coming on. I have Burb Snap coming on. I have Kieran Nimbus coming on. And I have Lauren Whatevs coming on as well. So look out for that. That will be all on my YouTube channel. So, all right, guys, that is going to do it for this particular episode. Before I leave, I just got to say this. I am a proud member of the podcasting network by Snap Judgments, which includes the Snap Judgments podcast with Glazer and Roy. Does that every single week, Friday or Saturday. And he always has some great guests on there, great Snap players and stuff like that. Join him on that show. So make sure to give that a listen or a watch. And also the podcast I mentioned early in the show, whose host will be joining me, Lauren Whatevs. That is Snap on This, out every single Friday with Lauren and, of course, Benjamin Roller, and It's Just Ree. So make sure you check that out. That's always a lot of fun. They were going to do Title Tussle last week, which is a fun listen, but they couldn't because Ree was a little under the weather, so hopefully she's feeling better, and maybe they will have it in this week's episode because that's always fun to listen to. So check out those podcasts along with the others. And whoever else you enjoy in Marvel Snap, I check out many of them throughout the course of the week. So, all right, guys, please stay safe, be kind to one another always, and hopefully I will talk to you all on the next episode of Snap Decisions. This is your Snap DJ, your late night. I should talk in late night. Here we go. We ready? I used to do the late night shift at some points, so here we go. This is your late night Snap DJ, You all have a great one. Take it easy out there. Stay safe. And I'll talk to you all soon. Have a great night. See ya.